Well, what a wonderful way to say good morning. Welcome to the TBS this morning on Truth 96.1 FM. The heart and soul of Liberia. This is where national unity begins. So, from wherever you are joining us this morning, this is the breakfast show covering 15 counties in Liberia. My name is Marka Davis. I'm here this morning, strangely, for the first time in. Yes, absolutely. This is for the first time in my time here at RCR that I'm seated alongside Ansu Salif on the Truth Breakfast Show for the very first time. When Onu comes tomorrow, he will explain. He will explain why he's not here this morning. But at least Onu could not make it here this morning, so I'm here this morning along with Ansu Salif to bring you the show this morning. And I promise that you will get it best as always. This is Truth FM. Yeah, please forgive me. Like I said before, since the beginning of this week, I'm under the weather. But in Africa, like we can call it fresh cold. Fresh cold and sickness in Africa. Fresh cold is not sickness in Africa. Yeah, so to all of our listeners across the country, if you're there in Nimba County, of course, we are really on 96.9 in Seklipi and 96.1 in Ban City. That means we are across Nimba County. That extends our broadcast even across to Ivory Coast. Folks in Riverside County, Grand Crew, Grand Jide are following us on the TBS and on Truth FM across the country. To our wonderful listeners who are always participating on the show in Grand Bassa County, good morning to all of you. Especially in Western Liberia, Grand Cape Mount, Bapolu, and Bomi counties. Good morning to all of you, those following us from Lofa. The second place, people. I told the people they lion you brought to town can win the cup. They were attacking me from all angles. They say this lion, the one you posted is not a real lion you brought to town. I said, but I know this is the lion you brought to town. And Princess Alexa Vanjakali say, oh, it's not true. You go find your lion from anywhere and brought it here. I say, you see, Senator Momo Sarah did not tell you the truth that actually this is not the real lion you always bring into town. But whatever it is, it was a wonderful time having the county meets together. We all spent time, joke and laugh about it. But that was wonderful. And congratulations to all of the winners and all counties for participating in that league. And I leave thanks to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Liberia Football Association that provided the technical support. Folks, I'm here this morning with Ansu Salif to bring you the TBS from now to 10 o'clock this morning. So, yes, let me say good morning and pleasant welcome to Ansu Salif on the show. For the first time we are sitting together, maybe on the TBS. If we are ever sat together on the same microphone on a show, I'm here to recall. Morning.
Yeah, thank you, Micah. As you said, for the very first time, indeed. Yes, apart from the news decks, whenever I appear on the news desk as spokes for the news team, but it is
Okay.
our first time on the Truth Breakfast Show. Normally it's on news, sometimes when you are out
Yeah.
attending some family issues. So I normally sit here with O'Neill, but it's my first time with you this morning. Let me say good morning and good morning to our cherished listeners across Liberia, the 15 counties, as far as those that are finding us there in Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Guinea, the 3 different bullocks. Indeed, I'd like to say good morning, welcome. This is the number one morning show, the Truth Breakfast Show, indeed, from 7:30 to 10 o'clock. So I'm happy to be here, and it's wonderful to be with you on the breakfast show, especially on the Thursday, indeed.
Yeah, so again, today is Thursday, May 9th, 2024. To all of you who are celebrating your birthdays on today, we love to wish you well. Especially to our close friends and people who are celebrating great things today. we want to say we are in celebration with you. We are in the mood with you to celebrate. And for those who are facing other issues, we want to say we wish you all the best, that God will intervene in whatever situation you are going through. But it's great for us to be together this morning to bring you the TBS. And let history be there. Coming to a small thing. When I started practicing with Radio Avant back then in 2016, I remember I used to follow Ansu Salif and Abraham Godson Williams, especially on the commentary team.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sports commentary team. So I really used to. In fact, let me just say that I used to be in Red Light. I used to be in Red Light. Even before going to Radio Avant. I'm a barber. There's no formal barber. If you come here now, I can give you a very good hairstyle and whatever. That's what I used to do. So we always used to, especially sports commentary, we'll be listening. In fact, around the whole Air Bank in Real Life, we'll put the loudspeaker on, the commentary, AB Williams and Ansu Salif. Then Big Brother Lobo from ELT. Yes, so sometimes they will have argument that, no, let's switch to ELT. It's not a state of true FM, They used to be like that. And my heart was like, can I one day work at Truth FM? Look, anything you want to achieve in life, you can achieve it. Seriously, anything. I mean, I'm so proud. Let me say thanks to the CEO, Honorable Sambelete, the DG, the former editor-in-chief, Mr. Joseph Kuhn, the former director of New Oscar Mobile, and all these people, the former deputy DG, Abraham Godson, all these people, for allowing me to fulfill the dream of coming to work for True FM. It was actually a dream. Let me admit. I mean, this is a confession this morning. So I used to follow Ansu all of the time. One day I met Ansu and AB at the ATS. Yes. So and that was also the first time I met Naomi Tapia. Naomi is a kind of person. So when I spoke to AB, I spoke to Ansu, but a slim no ball, nobody really cares about who this. Let's continue our commentary. And I went speaking to Naomi. I wanted to speak more to Naomi, but Naomi is not even giving attention. I said, anyway, but we move. And then later on today, we all, brought up, we met in the same space and we have been a great family. And so I want to say thanks for the contribution you have made to the Liberian Society, especially through Truth FM.
Thank you, my God. You just hit it right. And that commentary team, I always tell people remain the best team indeed. With our former boss, the AB, who was here in the sports department, Vavrid, Vaman, Naomi, indeed. That team still remain the best team. So we are putting my candidacy together. Like what we did is one time for the county meet. I myself, I said, wow, is this Maga doing a commentary? So we.
Yeah. Guess what? The man is leading the commentary team. I go on my different OPL. I've been using my ID card to go to the media tribune. And the guy saw me. I just held the microphone and just started commentating. The man, I forgot my word. I'm going to relax. All the first and second half, and so just commentated 15 minutes of the entire match. I say, all right, you see what I'll be here with.
Yes, that's good.
But I mean, that was good.
It put me in that mood, Maka, that what the DG said is something that they will start working on to get that commentary team back. So
absolutely.
From there on, I started thinking, I said, but we still have the guys in there who still know how to run the microphone, especially when it comes to commentary.
Absolutely.
So with my ERC now, only the Nimba to make a commentary.
So Flash be there. Flash be the mega dot secret say, Maka, be careful before you be too emotional. I mean, don't forget it. We'll try our best. We'll not be emotional. Yeah, so let's bring you the lineup this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, let's bring you the lineup this morning. So it's Thursday, May 9, 2024. Coming up shortly will be the health tips with David Coty. Following the health tips, we will have all of the papers or most of the papers. Then we will bring you the review of the local dailies. We'll bring you the review of the local dailies. Then in our studio chat this morning, we'll talk about this reported petroleum shortage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a report that there's a shortage of petroleum products on the market, and then there are being counter argument that people are just trying to hold on to the product to create that kind of scarcity which will cause some kind of pandemonium in the public and all of that. So we'll talk a bit about it. And then we'll talk about the protest again. As Asilometer, we've been talking to stakeholders across the line. So we will still talk about it because we started talking about this thing almost a week and a half now, even before the protest there. We'll talk a bit about it. And the call for National Unification Conference, that was also in the news. The former foreign minister, Olubangi King accurately talked about that. She said there's a need for a national unification conference to reconcile the country. She believed that the country is hugely divided. So we'll talk about it this morning and seek the views of the Liberian people. Do we need that? That is very important. We'll talk about it. And coming up at after that, we'll bring you, we'll open the lines for Talk to Your Leader segment. Following that segment, on the first segment of the show at 8:30 to 9:15 this morning, Madam Comfort Cooper will be here. She was former head of the ES Green JFK Mental Health Hospital here in Tuput Road. Now she has constructed a private facility for mental health. So Madam Cooper will be here. We've been having this kind of missed schedule and stuff like that. But finally, we found a time to give it to her to come and talk about her efforts. We believe that these are critical issues or areas that need to be addressed in the country. So she's one person who has invested privately as a citizen to construct a mental health hospital in Police Academy, Pinsville. But Comfort Yinatu Cooper will be here this morning to talk about the Comfort medical or mental health center this morning. She'll be with us up to 9:15. 9:15 will bring you sports, entertainment, and commercials on the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. The commercial aspect will be done by Ansu because to see that music on the thing is not easy for me. Yeah, so and following the commercials at 9:15 to or 9:20 to 10 o'clock this morning, we will have a team from the Movement for Economic Empowerment, MOVE. And so say move when I call the poor party name, say move because of Thai tradition. So the Movement for Economic Empowerment, MOVE. Yes. We have the Secretary General Jeremiah Edison P. He's the National Secretary General of the party. He will be here alongside the chairperson for Montserrado County, Patrick Camo. They are coming to talk about the president's 100 days deliverables and also some issues concerning the party and national politics. Recently, you listened to them making a statement or a decision to put aside executives of the party, including even the chairman, Robert Sami, on ground that all of them have taken diplomatic assignments. So the party constitution says once you are not available for 6 months, then you can run the party. So we'll be here this morning to talk more about that. I think it will be a fascinating discussion this morning on the TBS from 9:20 to 10 o'clock this morning. And that will be the makeup of the show in the midst of all country first. This is the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. So yes, this is what we got for you this morning. Before we take the calls, maybe and professional colleague Oscar Morba for the campaign he's being on. I think that is very important. In other countries, they got square for protest where people go gather and petition our government and stuff like that. Because, mind you, everyone has their constitutional rights. If you have right to protest, I do have the right to move.
Okay.
So if you want to utilize your right to protest and infringe on my right to move, then that's kind of conflicting stuff. So if we reach a point where we can designate places where people can gather to protest or petition our government, I think that's a good campaign. And again, the next campaign is that the issue of establishing a national media council to regulate the media industry in the country. I mean, these are things Oscar have been talking about. They made almost 4 radio stations yesterday.
That's a very good campaign. A very good one for from Oscar, and we hope it come out fruitful for him. As you said, my God, it's very important where you can get a specific area where people can go to petition their leaders. Indeed, when it comes to a major issue, not to just have people anytime, but maybe just hitting me to stop other people movement. But I think you receiving call from David.
Yes, so
Cody.
yes, we bring it on David Coty now for the that if Asiwa or you can say your journey will soon end. So you're trying to remind me that Maka, you're talking too much, please take me. You see, so I'm joining this campaign with Onu. Yeah, so let's take the health tip with David Coty this morning as usual. David, it's a pleasure having you this morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Ambassador Darius, and good morning to my good friend and brother, I'm Susuni.
Salif.
Salif, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please tell the public the truth about where O'Neill is. Don't try to hide it. It may have been court.
Doing what? Oh, for the decision to remove you?
Yeah, he's meeting with the ECOWAS head judge today.
Okay.
To show cause why it must be removed.
Okay.
From the health team. It's not going to work. All right, thank you. Today we want to talk about cigarettes. Why cigarette smoking is bad. According to the World Health Organization, about 1.25 billion people smoke every day. 1.25 billion people smoke every day. That is around 1,250,000,000 people. Yes, when you do your calculation. 1,250,000,000 people smoke every day. Now, a billion is 1,000 billion. That is what makes 1 billion. 1,000 million makes 1 billion. So you can see how many people smoke every day. Smoking kills about 8 million people globally each year. So it shows that cigarette is really bad. And also secondhand smokers. When you sit by people, don't sit in a gathering where people are smoking and you think you're not smoking. You are even more affected than the people who are smoking. So never sit around smokers. When you're smoking, leave the area. Cigarettes are dangerous to your health. This has been, when you look at all of the packs of the cigarettes, way back we were the old boys in the 60s, 50s and 60s. We used to see cigarettes like Lucky, Salem, Winston, Kent, and Marlboro. And on all of those packs, if people don't hide it from you, they put it there. Cigarette is dangerous to your health. But yet, people smoke it. I don't know why. Now, after telling you the dangers about smoking, if you still continue to smoke, then I will ask the council of churches to pray for you. Number one, the dangers. Inflammation of the stomach and intestine. You can imagine that cigarette can inflame your stomach and the intestine. Number two, it increases the risk of for ulcer along the digestive tract. Now you can see that it's very dangerous. It reduces your ability to smell and taste. Oh yeah, it reduces your ability to smell and taste. Number four, it puts on your premature wrinkling on the skin. Now, when you look at your skin, sometimes you're not even old, you look old because your skin are wrinkling up, and all that is because of smoking. Now, it has a higher risk of blindness. It can make you blind. It can also give you gum disease. It causes heart disease. It causes cancer, stroke, lung disease, diabetes. It also leads to a reduction in the semen quality. Those of you who say smoking can't do anything to you having children, listen to this. It does. When I talk about it one time, a guy called me and said, "Well, you say smoking can affect the semen, the quality of the sperm, but my father had 25 children." So I jokingly said to him, "Were all the children actually for your father, or people help you?" Now you can't just anyway. All right. Remember this. Do not drink ice cold water or icy water right after eating. Those of you who are listening to me, I know it's so nice when you enter that restaurant after eating your jelly rice or fried potato grain, you want to add cold water to it. It's so enjoyable. But guess what? It is not good because it interferes with the body's ability to break down fats. Oh yeah, it can also constrict the blood vessels. It can make it narrow. The blood vessels are the veins that the blood can pass through all over the body. Now, when you drink cold water right after eating, that's what happens. It will narrow the vessel, and you will not be able to get the blood or the nutrients going through the body to give you the energy you need. We do not eat only because we satisfy our hunger, but we eat so that the nutrients in the body can be turned into energy to build you up. Thank you very much for the time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great that you always coming through. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the health tips, as you are aware, is one of the features of the show, which we've adapted to be able to provide some level of health information to our listening audience every morning. You know, one way or the other, you will make use of these tips. In some cases, and I mean that is good. So let's see if we can lay our hands on the local dailies this morning to bring you the review of the papers. So yes, the review of the local dailies come up shortly.
Don't need to follow, following. Le tuo sami chile, pa ele lui tawele, tapping a bit.
Wait, what is the WhatsApp?
Read the wind and the sky when the sun is high. We sail on the length of the sea on the ocean breeze. At night we make the stars. We know where we are. We know who we are. Who we are. We set course to find a brand new island everywhere we roam. Keep on. It's time to find home. We know the way. We know the way. To post it to the 1 minute to don't need to follow, following. Le tuo sami chile, pa ele lui tawele, tapping a bit.
Oh yeah, so welcome to the review of the local daily. Our first stop this morning is the Hot Pepper newspaper. And the lead story on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper says inconsistent administrative managerial flaw. It says offer, that's the University of Liberia Faculty Association described decision to cancel law school's entrance results. So that's the lead story on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper, 40 Liberian dollars for a copy of this paper. And again, in a major news, also reported on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper, Public Works suspends Western Cluster's road user permit. This is strong. Following the president's visit these few days, and the president made a very strong comment about Western Cluster. Now the Ministry of Public Works has suspended Western Cluster's road user permit, threatens to terminate SIM if. Well, the photograph of the Public Works Minister Roland Giddens is captured on the front page of the Pepper newspaper. And so you can see the photograph of the Public Works Minister on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. And another sub-lead story on the front page of the Harper newspaper: Senator Vapila commends Boakai war against drugs, says Liberia risks becoming a drug empire. Wow, the Grand Cape County senator is captured on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Senator Vapila is captured here. Let's go to the back page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. The sub-lead story on the back page: Pop Kai frowns on gender inequality in sports sector. Yeah, this person is bringing my argument on. So if you look at the photograph captured, you see Nimba County. These are the third place winners. Third place winners. You see Nimba County with the symbolic check of 500,000. That's $500,000 Liberian dollars. You see Lofa County, the female team, the kickball team, third place winners also with 50,000. So Pop Kai frowns on gender inequality in sports sector. Yeah, I see that my mom was talking anything yet. And LRC, that's the Liberia Electricity Regulation Commission, or Regulatory Commission, incorporates new commissioners. That's another story on the back page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. You can grab a copy for just 40 Liberian dollars. So let's go to Ansu to bring you the next paper.
Yes, back in my possession, is the New Republic newspaper. Protests escalate in Nimba County. Protests escalate in Nimba County as Borman walking actions hot operation at a certain meter indeed is right here on now the front page of the New Republic. Still on the front page of the New Republic. No room for flexibility. I'm seeing that Moserado County. Senator Darius Dillon is right here on now the front page of the New Republic. And then on the back page, we have over 50,000 students to sit for WISE as government cleared out WISE fees. And we see that Wire Box is also right here on now the back page for the New Republic.
So let's go for the Inquirer newspaper. Corruption perception diminishes trust in judiciary is a lead story on the front page. Prof. Lumumba tells trial judges. The photograph of Professor Lumumba is captured on the front page of the Inquirer newspaper. Also, government suspends Western Cluster Road user permit. It's also been reported by the Inquirer newspaper. Let's go to the back page of the Inquirer newspaper. 50,410 registered for WACS 2024. The emblem of WAC is there. So that's the story. Again, in Sanoye, another public school needs urgent attention is another story on the back page of the Inquirer newspaper. So finally, let's go for this one as we end the review of the local dailies on the TBS this morning on Truth 96.1 FM. We are going for the Women Voices newspaper. Yes, so the Women Voices newspaper is our last stop this morning. Women to form Peace Brigade. Oh, wow. That's the lead story on the front page of the Women Voices newspaper. Women to form Peace Brigade. Madam Shaw reveals as she threatens sanction against NEC. NEC. Well, which one? The NEC? Maybe it's the Elections Commission. Again, the sub-lead story on the front page: NEC postpones Lofa by-election, one Supreme Court to decide UP's fate. Oh no, sorry for that. This is old. Yes, that was a old paper. Sorry for that. So yes, so that's it for the review of the local dailies. That was a very old 2022 story. It just flipped into, I don't know how it got. How people can blackmail people. Old story can't jump in the paper to review this morning. But I mean, that was old story. Again, folks, welcome to the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. So just in about few minutes, we will just talk about some of the issues that we outlined in our talking point this morning. I would love to begin with this issue of petroleum shortage. And so you are always on the traffic plus. There have been reports that there is a shortage of petroleum products on the market. Again, a counter report from the government is that people are trying to create artificial shortage. That is, you actually have the products,
Mhm.
but you want to hold on to it because of the issue of the pump price.
Okay.
Yes, because of the issue of the pump price. So people are reportedly holding on to the products to create artificial shortage. Business people do that some of the times, because if there are some level of disagreements, people will try to it's a form of protest.
All right.
Yes, in business, a form of protest. You hold the products and believe that it is not available. So when there's a rush for it, then absolutely you increase the price as usual. So we think this is wrong, and we want the LPRC to be blunt about some of these information when they are coming up. Provide the facts to the public. Let the public know exactly what the issues are, whether there are actual shortage of the products, whether there are products in country. But the LPRC is saying that there are products in country, but people are trying to withhold the product to create artificial shortage. So again, you have the regulatory authority, you have the enforcement authority to ensure that the right things are done in line with the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So we believe that we don't want to see a situation where I think some part of last year we saw this shortage where you will see people lining up containers at the gas station, vehicles are parked, motorbikes, and all these kind of things. So if there are differences with the pricing, and one thing I also like to let the public know is that there are certain commodities that the prices are set globally, okay, including petroleum products. Sometimes the prices are set globally. So you just have to have the sophistication to interpret these global figures to your population to understand, because Liberia is overly political, like the former foreign minister said. The country is hugely political. Almost 50% of the population believe that nothing is okay, and almost 50% or a little over 50% say, I mean, things are fine. So the division, it is based on political lines. So everything, policy issues, business issues, legal issues are being politicized in the country to the extent that sometimes it becomes difficult for the policy making institutions or actors to even convince members of the public in the midst of the political tension, coupled with misinformation and disinformation. So I mean, we want to urge the LPRC to be invited to be robust in terms of providing information to the public when it comes to these kind of issues.
Yes, very important. And I think just few days ago, I listened to the MD
Mhm.
there at LPRC, just what he said. Again, it was a strong statement for him, in which he said that there's no shortage indeed when it
Yeah.
comes to petroleum on the market. But some of these are the say or I see things that especially the market will start to come up. Sometimes become true.
Yeah.
Few weeks ago, we experienced it. I was in the middle of the county meet. I think that when the quarterfinal just started, I can remember late night again. People then start to experience gasoline, the difficulties of getting gasoline that night, and it run almost for a half a day, in which it was so difficult for people to get gasoline on market. So as you said, some of the information they come out. It's very important for government to come out again to clarify some of these things, but some become true though, especially for we that run some of our these programs. So either add with the cyclists, the keke bogs, the commercial drivers. So we hear from them, and they tell us, gentlemen, in terms of the shortage of a petroleum on the market. Sometimes we find it difficult to know what's going on, and you find that the prices of petroleum on the market sometimes become no price control.
Yeah.
Some you have it for $950. Some area you have it for $850. Some area you get it for $900. So for that reason, then you start to study the market to know that there is something wrong somewhere. There must be something wrong somewhere
Yes,
because
absolutely.
if there's no shortage or if we're not going to experience it, while it comes to the prices control for petrol on the market, we
And
still
and,
find it
and, and,
difficult.
and also one thing again we as people of Liberia need to understand is that some of the prices of some of these commodities are impacted by the exchange rate,
Okay.
the currency
Yeah,
exchange
yeah,
rate.
yeah.
You understand? So one there's maybe one of the currency is being, especially local currency,
Hmm.
is being devalued. That means the rate is high, the exchange rate to the US dollar is high. Obviously it will impact the prices of commodities. So sometimes maybe you are selling if for example $5 is $800 liberty,
Mm.
and then you are selling a gallon of gasoline for $5. While if the rate goes up and then you find out that $5 is no longer
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
800.
yeah. 800 or
So before
850.
before you move to the petroleum station to
Hmm.
get product, you notice that it is no longer 800, it's 850. Then you say, oh, you're
Yeah,
not carrying price up, but it is impacted by the exchange rate.
yeah.
So we want to call on the relevant authorities to do the right thing. We don't have the luxury of time. We'll just in passing talk a little bit about the protest, not only at ArcelorMittal, but at various concessions in the country. We continue to demand the concessionaires, the
Who was just mocking the guy,
yeah. So
Maga?
Morgan, I think I once interacted with Morgan either in 2020 or 2019 or 2021, somewhere like that. Morgan is the one who is heading the Survey. Survey, according to them, had a lesson to explore or to
Okay.
carry on exploration in some part of Nimba County around the Aslamita concession area. So what we are seeing now, our look. Let me say this clearly to members of the public that initially we started blowing this thing because we think, and we will continue to do, because we still believe that there are still problems when it
Hmm.
comes to living up to the responsibility of the company to the communities.
Yeah.
So we will continue to talk about these things. We think our people deserve safe drinking water. Our people deserve electricity, because you cannot have nearly $2 billion investment in a place, and the people who live in the construction area
Hmm.
don't have electricity. They don't have good roads. They struggle with water, even though as love me well, we have hand pumps in most of these affected communities and all of that. But our people deserve better. So we'll continue to advocate on behalf of our people. Again, we are getting to understand some level of industrial politics that is working with this whole ArcelorMittal, Survey, and HPX stuff. So we need to do a critical analysis of what's happening at ArcelorMittal. But what I want to say to our people in Nimba, I'm a son of Nimba 100%. I have no other connection to any other county except my residency in Masorado County. Okay, so we want to call on our people sometimes to meet with our leaders and understand some of the issues before we jump into the advocacy, the protest, and all of that.
Yeah.
Because I believe that one of the best things the legislature has done was to set up a committee to review some of these concessions to know whether they are living by the agreement they signed with the people. So that is a good move. Again, for us to see the Bushmaster going to seize the mine, the offices, well, we agree. Some people are genuinely aggrieved by some of the failure of the company to do certain things. Now you see that this industrial politics is coming in, where the name of Boyman Morgan, who is the head of Survey, is being mentioned continuously. ArcelorMittal issued a press conference, I mean a press release, and you heard the name Morgan. The newspapers are carrying Morgan. So we need to sit to understand some of these things. Let the politicians solve their political issues. Let the investors solve their critical issues about permit. Let the Ministry of Mines and Energy intervene and ensure that things are done appropriately. Nobody should use our people against the country.
Yes.
Let me say this. Nobody should use our people against the country, in a sense that now the president was in the US, or is in the US, engaging with investors. Then when you go to the social media, when you go to the online media platforms, you see, Bushmaster sees ArcelorMittal 1.6 billion investment. What signal does that send? I mean, that's being fair with our country. It proves that you are trying to tell the investor that president who come talking to you say you're gonna go invest in Liberia, it don't say, well,
That's
and
it.
you see how the country devil running
The
behind
country devil.
ArcelorMittal people in Liberia. So I believe this is a bad signal. Look, in other countries there are critical issues that happen, but sometimes because of the image of the country and at certain point in time, people take decision based on situations. But again, we want to say we are not siding with anybody in this thing. We believe that there are a lot need to be done by ArcelorMittal for our people, and the government, the legislative caucus in the 3 affected counties supposed to ensure that whatever penny that is intended for social development reach our people. Okay, we will not just be beating drum on the company here, but we'll also beat the drum on our leaders here too.
This is why our people voted you. This is why you're there to represent our people. All right. So let the Viva companies and let our people know definitely feel the impact of the companies. Indeed, we shouldn't allow them to just run our people. And like you said again, Michael, it's very important to bring it to the attention of Liberians. We have international investors out there. We have international people out there, companies out there looking at this country. All right, this protest about protest and protest and protest. Let's try to monitor and leave some of these things with our leaders, especially people who elected to represent us.
Yes.
Yeah, we shouldn't just hold everything on hand. Every small thing there for one man personal gain because he knows at the end of it he's going to benefit
Exactly.
and get our people out there.
So let the industrial politicians solve that issue. Let the technical issues be done. Stop using our people against the country. So we don't have the luxury of time to continue with the talking points. So let's just take at least maybe 3 or 4 calls. 3 or 4 calls, and then we will usher in our guest, Madam Comfort Cooper. Is almost here. So call us on 0770202579, 0770202579, 0777285961, 0777285961. And yes, so let me take this call. Good morning. Just say good morning, Maka. Yeah. Good morning. Go ahead. Okay, you just live off the line. Let me take this one. Good morning.
Good morning to your co-host. This is Alvin Pope, and I joined the conversation from Creole community. MPC is talking point. But my God, I think our leaders they have to work for the people. For everything you want to start an special agreement, you take the agreement to the people. You educate the people. What is it for them? What is it for the community? So then the people will know. The people don't have right to go in and vandalize these people for protest or this for investment. But the thing is, it's just not in the house, keep it. The rest of them and go out there. You just that they go what's this middle, get in middle. How can all you shit at the people? You can't tell them
that's why that's why we want to give a thumbs up to some of the new lawmakers who believe that it is very important that people practice governance of transparency and accountability, because if some of these information are just public information, nobody will bypass to be doing clandestine things. Absolutely. Exactly, you are right, Avin. Let's take Bue. Good morning.
Good morning, Maka. And good morning to Ansu. I joined you from District 4, Maka, and like you said, so I could avoid singing. Let me commend you for your stand on this issue with our tribal people, invading in some of these concession companies. But you see, Maka, like my colleague just read this, Maka, sometimes ride is really horse to death. You understand, Maka? When our people are disenchanted, this is why you have a legislative caucus. The people try to engage the legislative caucus. The caucus understand in that position is to put into the matter and come up, with a relevant solution, at least to curtail the issue. But when the caucus fails to curtail the issue, the people will have no other alternative but then to invade these concession companies so that the world gets to know exactly what is unfolding. So, like you rightly said, Maka, this is why we always call on the best lawmaker in Honorable Musa accountability. Now that is one of those committee members on concessions agreement, they must be able to
A special house committee to review concessions. He's the chair.
exactly, and I trust his ability. This is why we want them to do the work of the Liberian people. When there's a concession agreement, let them critically review the agreement. Let them look at the benefits, the proceeds that come to the Liberian people.
Thank you. Let's stick to at least. No, this one is terrible.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please cut off your receiver, please.
Am I
Go ahead quickly. 30 seconds, please.
Good morning, Madam. Good morning to Ansu. I know you're not congratulating us for qualifying to the finals because it's not bad.
Yeah, man. What do you do? Who basically inside? Snail can judge blockades. Snail not get blocked. You carry a blockade to court. Snail can tip out. So just leave me alone.
It's so sad to see that
Hello? My young man. Let me just take this final one. But that way, if you can call for just 2 minutes, we appreciate. Yeah, please do. Yes, just 2 minutes, we appreciate before we join Madam Cooper, who is pretty seated in studio. She wants to be the Lema Bowie who is time conscious. But the woman partially American woman, so she respect her. Good morning.
Good morning, Marga. How you doing?
Morning, go ahead.
Yeah, the issue about the concession agreement with our people. The people are not on the door going to engage our people, and that's where the problem always comes from. When you want to do something,
when you say those who are going to engage our people, are you talking about people from the Ministry of Mines and Energy, the Legislative Caucus, or leaders, or who are you referring to?
The government
Okay.
will be setting the whole thing to go and engage the people. You play with the people, don't play for the people.
Okay.
This is what happening. And let me conclude where you see God of King Job. You see what is happening there. In fact, those fucking guys that I went there before. Look at sometimes, in fact, the believe in the resistance attitude when you go there, when you go in the canteen to eat. When the black people are there, look how we now go there until after the black people leave before they go there. You see all those kind of agreement. When they go there, they do things differently. So sometimes our people can they need to be pointed to our people.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So that way, I want you to just put a call for 2 minutes. If you can do so, then we'll join our guests. So just a little privilege. I want you to do that. Yes, he was trying to come through. So just okay, good. Ali, Chief, please. It is a privilege. You can just use at least 2 minutes, please. Our guest is already here.
Thank you so much for this privilege. I appreciate you. Thanks to the listening audience. Again, on behalf of the National Principal Association, we want to congratulate WIAC so far for the preparation for the 2024 exams. The information I want to pass out is that WIAC, through the National Principal Association office, has signed 389 slots for proctoring. By proctoring, I mean those who are supposed to man the administration of the exams.
Okay.
Those forms were disseminated into our membership room, and we received excess of 389. We received about 600 forms. We sorted the forms out and submitted 389 to WIAC, and WIAC, in their own wisdom, thought that we should submit the remaining forms. And so WIAC received all of the forms from our office. That process has closed. And tomorrow at 2 o'clock, WIAC will be we will be assembling those who submitted their forms through the National Principal Association's office at Lacoses, Kisikiam, 2 o'clock for WIAC to Madam Wani Sopa, I think she's the head of testing and evaluation, will be giving the letters of assignment to those who are selected.
Okay.
The reason I thought to make this public is that we were just a conduit through which WIAC thought to solicit the proctors this time around. Initially, WIAC had used the individual schools to send names. This time around, WIAC thought to use institutions so as to curtail certain malpractices that are usually permeated the system. So the Principal Association, the Cabinet Education Secretariat, and several school secretariat were used. We, as an institution, are calling on principals who submitted their forms to attend the meeting tomorrow so as to outline our procedures, our ethics, the administration of this exam, especially those that are representing our institution. It is very important for all of those who submitted the form to come. But let me be very clear that we are not the one responsible to select the proctors for assignment. It is purely WIA's responsibility. And we are saying this because, Maka, a lot of people are, making a lot of statements about how we did our selection. We are not. We were given slots. We recruited through the membership and submitted to WIAC. Even if your forms were submitted to WIAC, it is WIAC obligation to select you or not. So please come tomorrow to see whether you were selected or not, and that you could receive information on the administration and the procedures for the administration of the exam, which begins next Wednesday. Let me call all 12 parents, get prepared. We know that you've gone to school for over 15 years, and this is the time that we hope to guide the process in ensuring that you leave the world of high school with successful mark. Thank you so much, Maka, for the opportunity as we look forward to seeing principals tomorrow at La Process at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, Daraway. Yes, thank you. So let's bring on camera Madame Comfort Cooper. She is the founder, the chief executive officer of the Comfort Mental Health Water Center Clinic in Painesville. So you care to take the headphone from the microphone so I can have use feedback. If you are hearing me, you can put it down. If you're not hearing me, then you can put it on. Yes, so any of the two. Very good. Yeah, so folks, like we indicated in our lineup this morning, we have with us Madam Comfort Cooper. She's here to talk about mental health. That's a very cardinal issue, but most of the time people don't pay attention to these things. Madam, sorry, something is okay. So, good morning. Welcome to Truth FM.
Thank you and good morning.
Okay, good morning. Uh, we are just seeing you after almost 3 years. Welcome back to Liberia.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Let the public know much about who is Madam Comfort Yanatu Cooper. A lot of people would like to know. You did some work with our health sector in the country. You headed the ES Grant Mental Health Hospital here in Painesville, and you went on. I don't know what I should call it, sabbatical. You are back.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm Mrs. Comfort Yenetu Cooper, CEO, founder of the Comfort, the Raketa James Comfort Mental Health Center.
Okay.
Yeah. In Painesville Police Academy.
So tell us about your interest in this mental health thing. Other people have interest in different sectors, especially in the health. People have different specialization, but you are mostly about this mental health. Why? Give us. Are you okay with the headphone? Okay, so let's hear your interest is mental health thing.
Well, as I said again, I'm Mrs. Comfort Yenetu Cooper, and I grew interest in mental health since 1990 after the war.
Okay.
And because we all lived in Liberia at that time, we were all here and we saw people being traumatized, and ourselves, we all were traumatized.
Mhm.
Even family members who were not in the country, they were out of the country trying to get the family over and trying to make sure the family had food to eat, were all traumatized. And I remember as a young girl in high school, after high school, trying to go to college, there was a program called the Susuku School for Gun program that was headed by Dr. Tupana Tipote.
Mhm.
And if you ask me, in my opinion, I would tell you that program did not work or fine. It failed because you cannot have people who are traumatized, came from fighting, killing people, and you tell them school for gun, give me your gun and go to school.
Okay.
Because where we live, There where they had the fence where they had those boys in Single on 21st Street. There they had the big fence there where they used to keep those boys that gave gun and went to get money for school.
Okay.
But then when I started to grow up as a young woman, I started to analyze, and I said, but when we were growing up, things were different. Then now people started becoming angry, and I was thinking, I said, but what's going on? Then when I went to the US, went to school, later on then before when I started to work in mental health facility, I started to work in the Oklahoma mental health facility, the State Department of Oklahoma mental health facility as a behavioral health case manager. Then I started to reflect on Liberia, say, wow, this is what's happening in our country. People are traumatized.
Okay.
Yes, and then when I came to Liberia to do my second master's, my internship at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Brennan Dan told me that Comfort, you cannot go back. We want to retain you. And I was sent to JFK as the Associate Hospital Administrator in
She was
2015.
then the Minister of Health.
Yes,
Yes.
Dr. Dan was the Minister of Health. And then when she retained me at 2015 at the JFK Medical Center, I was there till 2018 when President Weah took over. Then I was sent at the Mental Health JFK ES Grand Mental Health Hospital as the administrator that
Okay.
rocked the mental health in that in Dubo Road, and
Yeah.
you know about it.
Yeah.
So, and when I was there, my interaction with the youth, older people, and I started to say, no, I must do something myself. I can do something. And I called my husband. I told him, I said, we have some property on Police Academy Road. Can you waive that property to your wife to be able to give back to humanity? He said, what can I say? Anything you say is the final comfort. You can take the property.
Okay.
And I thank my husband Rockefeller Cooper for contributing to mental health in Liberia by giving me the property to build the mental health facility there. And first of all, I started building it as a clinic because people were telling me, "Oh, mental health, you're going to put your money in the government. When I come in, no one will help." So I decided to build a clinic. But then, working as a mental health administrator, I said, "No, I can help the government too. I can do something. If I can help somebody, my living will not be in vain."
Hmm.
So I started talking about it, and I extended it and changed the dimension of the clinic to a boys dormitory, girls dormitory, and behavioral girls dormitory. And so I changed the facility, and now it's called the REG, that is called the Rock James. And Rock James is my husband, Rockefeller Cooper. Etta is my late mom, and James is my dad, James Yenetu. So I
Okay.
just say REG, which is this Rock James Comfort Mental Health Initiative.
Okay. Well, in this public matter, I mean, appreciate you for the fact that having studied and worked abroad, um, you saw the need to come back to contribute to your country. Firstly, let me say thank you for that. Again,
Yes.
I mean, how is it really a problem to our society? Issues of mental health.
Mental health is a problem. It's not becoming, it has already become a problem in the country. As you see, and when we were growing up, Maka, I know we might not have those ages that people would think about, but I'm like over 50, so I think I'm a grown up.
Hmm.
I remember when we were growing up, they said a town raised a child or a village raised a child. But now, even a single person cannot raise a child right now. The parents cannot, the country cannot even raise a single child right now.
Hmm.
And because people went through trauma from 1989, December, when the war took over 1989, December 24th, and when it became serious in May. I remember, I was young, but I calculated a lot of those things. I remember when we left uh, campus, it was in May when it was serious, when IMPFL came and MPFL, they separated, and MPFL went to on the other side, took over and went to Core West Side.
Hmm.
IMPFL were right to Mount Barkley and other place. MPFL, I remember vividly. And since then, people were traumatized. I saw over 10 bodies,
Hmm.
real people that I knew as a kid in government. I saw some of them, some of their bodies lying down. And I remember my young brother died from trauma because he stood there and certain person shot someone in the head, and he came running with the blood splash on him. They were around. And since then, he did not come true until my brother died. I remember that vividly.
Mm.
And people live with trauma, seeing a lot of traumatic things around them. And then you brought a school for gun program that did not work. Then since then, the governments that took over did not even try to go through the de-traumatization and reintegration program.
Okay.
And people grew up from being child soldier, grew up to older people. Some of them live with their mental health problem. They live with the trauma. They die with the trauma. Some people de-traumatize themselves, deciding to ignore the problems.
Mm-hmm.
And some people just live and grew up with it, had their kids with trauma. And those kids too grew up with the trauma. So the country just became traumatized.
Okay.
And how do we help this country? The only progress to help this country is that the government should come in with the de-traumatization process and the reintegration process. And de-traumatizing somebody is not the problem, but the reintegration is the problem.
Okay.
You cannot traumatize like, you took me from here, I've been a bad girl, you took me to the youth camp, and I went to boot camp, and I went through all of the training, the strong training, the mind training, the counseling, the training of the future to brighten my life for tomorrow. Then I come right back and come right back to live in West Point. And I left Martha, Esther, Sarah, Mary, John, Moses, Peter that I was moving along with. And my parents got vexed and took me from there to change my life. My behavior changed, but Martha and Esther are still in their behavior. And
And you brought me back and placed me right among them.
yeah, after 7 to 9 months, 10 months, you brought me back to place me right to Martha and Sarah. And you did not even give me anything to restart my life. What do you think? I'm going to act for a sin maybe for a month or something, and look what people will say about me. But then I will say, who cares?
Okay.
Martha and Sarah will still be my friend. We will still go back to what we were doing because I need to survive. It's survivability. Poverty is one of the trauma in this country, the major traumatic problem
Yeah,
in this
so
country.
that was just one of the questions I was about to ask you. Besides the impact of the Civil War, are there still factors traumatizing Liberians?
Yes, the highest one, if you ask me, is poverty,
Okay.
joblessness.
Wow.
Those are factors affecting our mental health system in this country.
So is it giving the kind of priority it needs? Are we seeing it as Liberians, as leaders? Are we seeing it as a problem, or it appears to be just a normal life?
I think it appears to be a normal life to people because if you look around, go out and look around. Many days, sometimes my friends, my daughter, my daughter calls me Save the Children.
Mhm.
So when people have problem or friends or somebody needs you to say my mother is called Save the Children, just find her. Even at JFK, my administrators used to call me, there's a lady called Comfort Cooper, she pay hospital bill. Y'all go find her, she will pay your hospital bill. You know, like a fun, but that is what I like doing. My calling is helping. I believe, Maka, I will help until my last, I will give it up. People knows me and listening to me and know that I don't have to lie about this
I know.
because you go out, you see poverty in people's faces. You see people hungry. One of the things, a hungry man will become a rogue. A hungry person is an angry person. And if I'm hungry, what do you think, my God? If you have a bread on this table and I'm looking at it, I'm hungry, you cannot give it to me. The next thing I'll be planning either to kill you to eat that bread or to make sure when you leave, I can steal the bread. And just a minute, my mom told me a little story.
Mhm.
She said in the village, one time at the farm, a man visited this older woman, a hunter. He was so hungry and he saw the lady lying up by the fire, how people cook and put the food by the fire, cover the pot. And this pot was covered, and this man sat and did all of the lecturing, and this woman never told him. On the farm, when you appear, people will tell you, oh, we got food.
Yeah.
But the woman never gave this man a food. And this man was so tired, lecturing. He wanted to eat. He couldn't tell the woman he was hungry. So he looked around, and he killed this lady. When he opened the pot was empty.
Mm.
So I remember Mama telling us every time, do not cover pot. Do not cover pot when there's nothing in it. Turn the pot upside down. She said her mom told her that story. So it's the same thing. If somebody is hungry, you cannot give it to them and they cannot get it. What do? They're going to come back for it with force, and that's why we have all these people around. If you look at it, really, Liberians are very scary people.
Okay.
Liberians are not brave compared to other nationalities,
Okay.
but it's poverty, hunger. You cannot eat in your house every day, throw food away, ride a jeep pass around, and your neighbors are hungry, and you think they're not going to come back to haunt you. They don't care whether you were responsible for it, but they know there's something over there they will get for their family and themselves.
Okay, that's good. So yes, the vision to start up the mental health center, which is very important. What is the status of the facilities now? Just before we can talk about what kind of services you'll be offering there.
Well, the status is very, it's on 98% right now.
Okay.
The mental health facility, and I will boast and say it is very beautiful. Even the tie that we use in the facility is a tie that I feel good because I use the same tie in my home.
Okay.
And the mental health facility will take up to 70 residents.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have a place specifically for behavior trouble little youth called adolescent, which we're going to bring in and we're going to take care of them by ourselves. They're not going to pay money. We want to try to brand some youth, like 10 youth at a time. We bring them in between 14 to 18 years old. And
Okay.
I think when they are around us at that time, they can get some good behavior. They will have some behavior changed. But we are not just going to take a youth and put them in there. No. We are
Okay.
going to go straight through a very good scrutiny. We're going to find a youth that really need that privilege. And myself going to go on the street after 6 o'clock p.m. to check on those youth. I'm going to recruit them myself. I'm not going to allow anybody just bring their kids or family member. Oh, Mrs. Cooper, when the person need help. No, that's not what I'm going to do that myself.
Yes, Michael, let me come in. Mrs. Cooper, you want to share with us in terms of all the challenges you go through? You've been around for a very long time, especially in the health center.
Challenges and yeah.
It is here for dealing with people of such when it comes to mental.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a very serious challenge we go
Mm,
through, yes. The health sector in Liberia has a very major challenge, both mental health and physical health. Like physical health would be like the John F. Kennedy Medical Center and regular clinic, and the mental health would be like the JFK ES Grand Mental Health Center and the other ones that people have and that I'm trying to open. And I would say that if you ask me, Liberia need to step over and do the right thing because it's a very serious challenge when it comes to mental and physical health.
Okay.
Because the physical health well-being of a person makes a country. The
Absolutely.
mental well-being of a person makes a country. Crazy people cannot rule a country. Sick people cannot rule a country. Behavior youth cannot rule a country.
We don't even understand what you call behavior youth.
Behavior youths are youth with trouble problem, what people call, excuse me, Zogos. We
Okay.
don't want to call those words. So
Okay.
their name is behavior because it's a behavior problem that led them to where they are.
Okay. We'll keep learning new names about these
yeah.
people. But just give us the scope of the work you will be doing at that facility. What will you be doing? Who are the kind of youth or people you will be dealing with? We want to know.
Well, I'm going to deal with every sizes, every gender, and we are going to do this. When you go first, we're going to go through counseling to make sure you accept. Before you can be accepted into the program, you're
Mhm.
going to go through a first 2 weeks counseling. And you're not going to be in a facility. You're going to leave your house every morning to come to that program. If you can walk by yourself every day for 12 days, because 2 times 7, 14. So Friday, I mean, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday will not be there. The 2 Sunday will not be part of it. It's Monday to Saturday. If you can walk every morning and come into the facility to do a counseling, then we know you are serious to participate in the program.
Okay.
Getting the facility and having people to work, that's another thing. So let's look at some of this qualified people you have. That's why you said 98 percent going already.
And your financial support
Yeah.
base. How do you intend to do that work?
Well, financial support, and I'm saying it openly, is my husband, Rocky Cooper, my daughter, Rachel Hilton Campbell, my son, Victor Aga, my sons, Harvey, and myself, including my best friend, Dr. Stella Jeffries, who is a nurse practitioner. She's a medical doctor. She has a DMP in family. She's a primary practitioner in the United States of America that will be here on the 18th. She's coming on the 10th for the opening of the facility.
Okay.
And my other friend, Quita Robert, and one of my supporters is called Patricia Nuka in the US. She just sent like 4 bags of rice too for the opening of the organization, and she's the IT administrator in the US.
Okay.
But anywhere else I build that building single-handedly, Comfort Cooper, with the support of my kids.
So, give us a little gist about what the opening is going to be like, the time, what other activities do we expect during the opening?
Well, it's just mental health awareness. We're going to have the building will be opened to the general public May 18, 1 p.m. on Saturday. And we're going to have just general talks to people. We want to let them know what we are going to be doing. We have our keynote speaker and Hassan Fadiga. He's going to speak on mental health because
Okay.
he worked in the mental health in the US. And we have Dr. Stella Jeffries, who's going to speak on good customer service
Okay.
in the healthcare setting. Because people come to the hospital, you don't even know their state of mind.
Mhm.
And when they come to the hospital, then you add your own state of mind to their state of mind. And people will come because they think, like, when they come to the hospital, like they take you to be Jesus, like when
Mhm.
they test Nazareth to wake up from the dead. So when they bring their family member, they think that you're just going to do or perform a miracle, that the family member will be, that will health will be restored. But and I will go back to the family members too. And sometimes I work at JFK Hospital and I go to other hospital health centers and facilities to look. Family members too come with so much aggression to the hospital.
Mhm.
And as I said, we are all traumatized in this country, even our nurses that work. Nurses go to work in the morning, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Nurses sometimes the money they work for is not even enough. They have all those burdens on them. Some of them are single mothers, some of them are single parents. A nurse goes to work, leave her husband who she doesn't even know what he's doing. Then I was there most of the time. A nurse husband, girlfriend will call and start to insult you. And those nurses are traumatized. They have their own problem they're going through from their homes and at work. Then you find a family member coming to attack these nurses. Like recently, a family member just slapped a nurse.
Mm. Wow.
Yes, a family member just slapped a nurse. And I would say Liberia is a good country. A family member slapped me once in the USA at the Baptist Integrity Hospital when I used to work as an X-ray technician. And the hospital banned the lady from entering the facility consciously. Told her she will only enter the hospital being unconscious because she has no right slapping a staff of the hospital who did nothing to her. Even if she did something, she could have gone to administration to report it.
Mhm.
But people live with impunity in Liberia and they just think impunity is the way. When you try to do the right thing, they don't like you, they hate you, they lied on you. And this is Liberia. This is how it has been for time indefinite.
Wow. Well, again, we will appreciate your intervention. Somebody just want to know a clear picture of what are you going to be doing at that facility? Because there are other facility, maybe they go to the ghettos, get people detox and give them counseling, and when they think they are better, they give them all back to their parents. Is that what you're gonna be doing?
No, I'm going to be going to the ghetto to talk to people, but I'm not going to go to ghetto to get people out. This thing we want to do, we want people to willingly
Okay.
walk to us Like I call you, Maka, I need an interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you told me, oh yes, I've been thinking about it. Let's do this, right? I came. So because I'm serious, I walked into the studio, right?
Yeah.
So if people can walk and come to us for no ghettos, then we know they are serious. But if you go and just getting people, they think it's a privilege.
Okay.
No, it's not a privilege in mental health. Mental health, the person must decide in the behavior youth. If a behavior youth is not ready, there's nothing you can do. When I was at the
I know some of the parents they will be holding like
I
they and be
know
bringing them to the place. They
they,
say we tired with it when you're holding up, you're chewing.
they used to bring people handcuffs. They used to bring people tabe like 1990. And I
Yes.
used to say, this is 1990. You don't do that. We no longer in 1990. Let these people, and most of those kids that came like that, ran away, jumped over the fence, went through the ceiling, opened the thing,
Because
and
they were
jumped
not
up.
ready.
That's the word.
Okay.
People have to be, those people have to be willing. That's why we're going to carry them through 2 weeks of counseling. If you fulfill the counseling, you will have to start over. If you
Okay.
complete the counseling, then we know you are a member of our facility. We're not just going to be taking people because we need money. No. This
Okay.
is a change. If we don't take time and be careful to train the youth in this country, Liberia will be ruled by foreign youth, foreign nationalities. And I'm not saying it with fear. I'm not gossiping. It's the truth. I'm saying it on air. Look at the youth of this country. How many youth we are losing every day to bad habit.
Absolutely. I mean,
How
it's
long?
hard.
Yeah, how long do you think of running it free? Because you said the launch is on the 18th of this month. Are you think of running it for maybe 6 months free or a year free, or is just going to be a free program?
No, the female adolescent girls program is a free program.
Okay.
If the government comes in to take the facility, it's going to be free.
If you decide to provide
To,
subsidy,
to provide subsidy to the facility is going to be free. But people going to work, they have family member, they need to be paid or they need
absolutely.
to be compensated. So we're going to have detoxification, we're going to have counseling, we're going to have the detoxification, and we're going to have the skill program. We're going to teach masonry, we're going to teach pastries. We have other programs to teach, and we're going to have these people play. We want to play the mind games on them. We want to teach the behavioral health, and we have the therapists. We're going to carry them through all of those. And it was like I was planning for 3 months, but I talked with the mental health director, Dr. Zia. He and I was speaking, and he told me that um, the government is thinking about 9 months.
Okay.
So I cannot keep a person in my facility for 9 months without a paid. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, the family that work, they need to eat.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I need to maintain the facility because I'm going to show a grand housekeeping in this country. I'm going to show how a facility should be kept clean, despite mental health or physical health.
No.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, so we will take a couple of interaction from members of the public. They maybe have some questions to ask
Mhm.
that you can respond to. So it is a minute after 9 o'clock. So from now, maybe in the course of 10, 14, 13 minutes, we'll have some interaction with members of the public so that any doubt they have, you can clear for them. Yeah, so again, I would like to appreciate you as a Liberian going out there, sitting afar and seeing the problems of Liberia, even though you were here working in the same sector and you decided, look, this ES grant alone cannot do, so we need to help government in other ways. I think let me appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so call us 0770-202579, 0770-202579, or better still 0777-285-961. So let me take the first caller. If you are calling, please lower your monitor. That means reduce the volume of your radio so we can have that feedback. So let's take the first caller this morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marga Theory. Thank you this morning for the quick and the chairman of the money condition in my thing.
Mm.
Which is into to cover. I think I mean something to have on the way in which elaborating show that I mean she's somehow there to do a burn. Being honorable to pipe of behavior, is not all about mental home, but all about maintenance. Sometimes you find out that people go in mental home, but after 2-3 months, 2-3 weeks, they will leave on they will escape by at the first when they fire through the window of the city. That's about private. How to maintain them there, how everything has to change. But my question is, people autism, are they also accepted? And from there, found some children that have gone, they start chewing their fingers, they're all kind of funny things. Are they also accepted within the mental home? So I wouldn't know. Thank you.
Okay, she will answer you. Maybe in the future I'll be communication consultant, but not now. Good morning. Good morning. Okay.
I want to say a big thank you to Mrs. Cooper in the studio. Job well done. I'm keeping up because it's not easy.
Okay.
In this country, I don't know, but we've got all things are possible. By the grace of God, we'll be there on the 18th for the opening.
Okay, thank you. You have your invitation? Okay, we'll send it to you. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, that caller slip off. Let me take this one. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, yeah, the call is coming one after the other. Good morning. Okay, so let me get this one off. 0770-202579. 0770-202579. Let me see if I can get this one. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to everybody next to you.
Good morning.
My name is Peter Bato. I'm calling from Johnsonville. I am firstly grateful to God and also grateful for God's student in the studio. I'm only proud of the word that she used down there. There was one that she said that really touched my heart. That people are traumatized because lacking of job. Yes, one of the biggest proof. One of the biggest. And yes, my brother, I've been sitting home looking for a job, right? No school English that I get. Way up the line of seeing it here. So that is not touch my mind. I'm not seeing it more because I'm looking for a job, but that's the truth today. So I'm going to be grateful to all things. There was so much to tell. So I'm going to get my period. In the whole time, that direction that you just gave it in order to do. And then I'm going to go with great blessing.
Amen.
Thank you so much. That's a confirmation that the trauma in the country is not just from the war, but there are other things that are still, traumatizing people. Let's take this caller. Good morning. Oh, this one. Well, let me see. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say a pleasant good morning to your kids.
Mm.
I'm following the discussion from District 4, and there's the voice of Akwe Ebu Etienne. I must commend the Madam Studio. I think she means well for this country. These are people, when they are trying to apply some frantic effort in helping our young brothers and sisters to get rid of this issue of drugs, we must commend them, at least to encourage them to do more. On the other hand, the issue of fighting drugs is very expensive. So I care to ask the madam two issues this morning. Now that she's saying her family is helping her and some friends are helping her for the maintenance aspect of this facility. So in the next 5 to 10, 15 years, how is she going to work to see how best she can sustain this facility? That's one. Two, I think the duration that she has put in place to work on these people who we consider as Zogos, I think the time is too short. Because Maka to get drugs out of somebody, I don't know what strategy she's going to use. But
what was the time frame you heard?
I think around like 9 months.
But they have other places they're running 3 months, 6 months, so 9 months. I think that's one of the length of time I've seen. I've been, you know me. I've been visiting all these facilities now. Yeah.
These facilities are running for like 6 months, 5 months, 3 months. I think the duration, because anything that is not done properly is not done at all. So I want to recommend.
Thank you. I think this is one of the long period that people will be.
Normally it's for 3 6 months.
Yes, we're doing 3 months, 6 months. 9 months is great. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Maka, and good morning to Mwana Cooper.
Okay.
Let me see, I'm Marvelous Marvin Eastman. I'm calling from Nizo Junction.
Okay.
This is a great initiative. 1993, that war, I remember it was in like April, and my little brother was like 2 weeks old, and we saw body, my father was almost killed, and he was president. So that thing was after the war, Captain Chapel the center like what she talked about. And they talk about the corp, combatants and trying for the community to go to that program. And that's what she talking about. We used to walk. I used to walk from my house.
They say what, gone for school? Oh, okay.
Yeah, application. So this party from the A to the Z. So this party from the community used to go on the program. And we used to walk every morning to go to that program. And we also my sincerity that are very needed to be a change person. One of the guys walk from the program and he included me in the program. That's the whole one of the program. After some years, they are beginning to get the rubber. They want to become rubber. They want to do that. It's good to me personally.
Okay.
I'll be willing because I've been from someone to me as well.
Okay, I will allow her to call the office number before she leave, but the office number she will call is for people like you, not just everybody. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Thomas Zakawi. I'm calling from Moses Black.
So clinic?
Yeah, Moses Black Clinic.
Okay.
And I want to extend my greeting and my appreciation to my birthday.
What are your birthday yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you plug me too, eh? Okay.
Thank you, man. Thank you for everything that God will bless us. I think we'll get everything through. And thank our brothers and sisters who have been
Okay.
and to you, Steve, at least thank you for the promotion too.
Yeah, we are trying to let the Liberian people know the work she's trying to do in the country. That's the essence of radio stations or media institutions. Yeah, thank you. So I really want to take Madam Victoria. She was calling in the court of on these kind of issues. Madam Papa, please, you can call back on these kind of issues. I love to hear women talking about it because most of the time they are the one feeding the blunt from these children. You know, you have your children and things are not too right. I mean, they must feel so much, pain from these kind of things. I would really appreciate if you can call back 0770202579. As soon as she calls, she'll be the last caller. Please try to do so. She's always following the TBS, and I would really love her to make a contribution on the show this morning. So, in spite of that, a lot of people raise other issues. Madam Cooper, they gave you, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, she was trying to call, but if the person with the number just disrupting a woman's call. Yep. So people raise other issues. Some people ask questions about the duration. Other people, maybe you took note of some of them, so you can respond to some of them. Just in case Madam Victoria call comes through, then I'll just place her in for 1 minute. Yes.
Well, and thanks again for the call. I mean, thanks to the callers. And I heard someone saying about 3 to 9 months. I mean, 9 months is a short period.
Yeah. So just wait small. Let me take her. She's online now. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My good morning to the studio guests.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so happy when I hear people coming to Liberia to contribute in kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times people are opening radio stations only to promote themselves because of some political reasons or so.
Mm-hmm.
But when we come and build a structure and see that there's a problem, and when we learn all that, we come back to pay it back to the society. I think that of happy boy and hawking that person just say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama. No matter what the money you made me, there's nothing that reforming the mind.
Mhm.
And my point there is that I know most of the time I'm a mental health clinician, most of the time we are only concerned with patients, but I'm concerned about the parents too.
Mhm.
So, Madam, is there any plan that you will be thinking about incorporating the parents for the common section? Because they look at the status, they look at the
Mhm.
what religious value and whatever. I don't want to associate themselves with the children, forgetting to know that this is a condition that is chronically that has to be treated, and it's very difficult. And so sometimes they get so frustrated when we go along to talk to them. They say, I don't have anything to do with this fighting because I have tried and tried, and then I have failed. Realizing that the first thing is that we have to convince the child that this is a problem, and they do have to know that it's a problem and there's a need for them to go and take and to have some kind of
Understanding.
treatment.
Okay.
So I want to say thank you, and you know, when now I think again, maybe you people can have your radio programs instead of people just having the talk shows on the comments, this, that, to that, what is about it. But when you look at the history
Now,
of the
man, she
children,
can talk small politics too.
and then already if you still about Kigali, that is how it started. Just
Mhm.
the matter
That's small soup girl.
Stop it.
everything we're looking to. And thank you, madam. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless us.
Thank you so much, Madam Paba. So that recommendation, I think is good because maybe it can be done periodically, whether quarterly or monthly, just some kind of Saturday, always organize some kind of 1 hour, 2 hour, some kind of counseling for
Mhm.
parents and stuff like that. Well, you listen to them. You just
Yeah.
have 2 minutes to close.
Yes. I would just address what she said. Is part of our program because the better people have the parable. They say ipo berelale meme ide manyong ide nobo.
Mhm.
Behind your house, the grand itch that is there every morning you wake up, you see a black dot,
Mhm.
and then it's like your mother. Even when your mother is crazy, your mother is bad, your mother is the ugliest, she's still your mother.
Mhm.
That's what it means. I know the parents are annoyed with their kids, so we put in our program that parents that will attend the kids that will attend the program, parents should be into the program too.
Okay.
That we have time, that we have parental sessions, and we are going to be going to schools to talk to people because we know that we still have drugs addicts and things and other people in schools, universities, and other places. And we are not going to force anybody to come to this program. You are going to accept that yourself will walk to the door of this program with your parent. Because I'm not looking for people to destroy my facility. That when your parent grabbed you and bring you, you have to run up to destroy the roof and destroy the ceiling and everything there. No, willingly. The 9 months he was talking about
Mhm.
is the government's time that they are giving.
Okay.
So if it goes through and we accept that and the government can pay for it, we are trying to see how we can get with LEC. LEC need to like the whole country. It's not just Monrovia.
Sure.
So if we take people through the process and you have to learn these electrical skills and other things, we can send some people who will help LEC dig the wire, the ground underground, or help with the wire or pulling the wire or something.
Mhm.
And we can talk to public works who can put people on the road project. The road project is the whole country,
Mhm.
and we can talk to water and sewage. Water and sewage need to run water to water the whole country. It's
Mhm.
not just Monrovia. So if those government agencies accept our proposals,
Mhm.
then the reintegration process is going to start. Because if 10% leave the facility and water and sewer take them to Bond County, they don't know no one in Bond County. They're going to work and the money paid them is not going to be given to them. They're going to have an allowance to feed themselves, but the money is going to be put in an account that
Mhm.
they cannot take until after 1 year. And 1 year, when that project is finished, when you come back, you can do something with the money in your account.
Absolutely.
So those are things we are
Okay.
going to be doing.
Madam, thank you so much. So just in your parting comments, maybe 30 seconds.
Well, as I said again, Comfort Nyenetu Cooper, the girl that rocks mental health in Liberia. My guys, my trouble youth, y'all know me. I can park my car and no one can touch my car. They will say, oh, that Mrs. Cooper, they can say people mad, they mental health people mad. That's me. I'm back. I have this big facility I have built. It's called the Ara EJ Comfort Mental Health and Police Academy. All of my trouble youths, I'm sorry, like people call you Zogos, which you are not. You are invited Saturday to come and eat. You are invited Saturday on May 18th to come and have session with us. And I just want to say thank you to True FM for allowing me in your station to talk to the Liberian people to help, insanity. It's a serious problem we have in this country. Not all that works in court suit is okay. Mental health starts with coat suit and come down to walk on the street naked. So let's help protect the minds of the Liberian people. For mental health is everybody's business.
Okay, so Madam Comfort Cooper there this morning on the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you Jeremiah P. and of MOVE and the county chairperson of Monserrato from the Movement for Economic Empowerment. We're taking a break to be back shortly.
My name is Philip Kumako. I'm in charge of mobile applications for EcoBank. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the EcoBank Express account. Do you know you can open a bank account without having to go visit a bank branch? Do you also know that you can open a bank account without having to fill all the paperwork that is normally associated with opening a bank account? Yes, this is true. This is what the EcoBank Express account offers you. The EcoBank Express account is a digital account that is opened using just your mobile number. This account allows you access to a wide range of banking services that is available today. To open an EcoBank Express account, you have two options. The first option allows you to use a smartphone and the internet to open your Express account. To use this option, you need to visit the Google Play Store or the App Store to look for the EcoBank mobile app and install on your smart device. Once launched, click on the Get Started button. you'll be presented with options to use the app. Since you intend to open an Express account and you are not an existing EcoBank customer, click on No, I'm new to EcoBank. You will then be prompted to select the country in which you want to open the EcoBank Express account. For this test, we will select Ghana and then enter our mobile number. You'll be presented with the option to review the terms and conditions attached to the use of the EcoBank mobile app, as well as our data privacy policy. If you are okay with these, you click on the Continue button. We will now prompt you to select how you would want to bank with EcoBank. In this case, you will select Express account. We will automatically send a code to the mobile number you provided to verify your identity. As you can see, the code was just automatically read into the app. And once this was verified successfully, you'll be asked to provide your personal details. I will provide my first name, my middle name, my initials, my surname.
All right, so welcome back to the breakfast show again this morning. We're here on Truth 96.1. It is the third edition. And don't forget, EcoBank has launched a new salary advance service. This is for customers who have salary account with EcoBank. You can request a salary advance via the USSD code *326#. The bank will give you 50% of your salary. The interest rate is 3%. And you will have 30 days to pay back. The best part is you can request 24 hours. Indeed, your account is credited the same day. To use the USSD code, one must have the EcoBank mobile app on their phone. The service is for both public and private sector employees who have salaried accounts with EcoBank. EcoBank Orange Liberia, a proud sponsor of the Truth Breakfast Show here on Truth 96.1. Welcome to our final segment this morning, and we have moved the Secretary General with us this morning, Jeremiah Pay, sitting with us this morning on the last segment of the breakfast show. Mr. Pay, welcome to Truth FM.
Important invite. I'm delighted to be here in your Kusi studio for the reason that will allow me to speak to issues surrounding the survivability of my beloved party, the Movement for Economic Empowerment, and the growth and development of Liberia as a nation.
Wonderful. So just news 2 minutes and tell us a little bit about the party. How's everything going on?
Well, as we all are aware, we followed the 2023 elections.
Mhm.
And after the 2023 elections, we saw the ushering of a new government led by His Excellency President Joseph Yuman Boaka. We have gone more than 100 days. But let me add that since the elections, MOVE as a party,
Mhm.
to some great extent has been dead, has been dormant. The activities of the party ceased over time. The headquarters is in ruin. No partisans go there. Partisans of the party are in despair and disappointment. And I say all of this because after the elections, the leadership of the party, especially the former national chairman, Mr. Robert Sami, failed to provide the needed leadership direction that partisans expected. Though we supported the CDC re-election bid, but after the election, the CDC lost the election. Other executive committee members, including myself and partisans of the party across this country, expected the leadership of the party under the chairmanship at the time of Mr. Sami and the political direction or political leadership of Ambassador D. Marshall Sakimaya to call a national gathering of the party so as to reflect on the 2023 elections and to chart a way forward for the party.
Is the collaboration still within the CDC?
That didn't take place. 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 That didn't We just in 2023 we signed a resolution, majority members to collaborate with the CDC to support the re-election bid of the Excellency former President George Manuel Weah. But since the election, like I was saying, the leadership of the party failed to call the membership base of the party through the leadership, so as to have conversations surrounding what took place in the 2023 elections and how we can chart a new course for the party. But rather, the leadership led by Chairman was concerned about the selfish gain, specifically fighting to get himself factor into job, and had no attention on the partisans or executives of the party. So yes, as we speak, per what we signed up to, the party was in a collaboration in 2023, and our collaboration is on course. But the National Executive Committee of the party just had a sitting on last Sunday, and it took several critical decisions. And in a few days from now, the Executive Committee will be reviewing our position as it relates to whether we'll continue collaborating with the CDC or not. But on Sunday, the last Executive Committee meeting, there were several decisions we took, which of course your news carried. The Executive Committee convened so as to reflect on the 2020 elections and then strategize as to the way forward about the party. So after lengthy discussion by members of the National Executive Committee, we took several critical decisions intended to rebrand and restructure the party. As we speak, the former chairman, Mr. Robert Sami, is on a mission in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And over time, like I said, since the election in 2023, he did not call one meeting of the National Executive Committee. He did not call one meeting of partisans to have conversation with them. He left this country surreptitiously and went on a mission in Ethiopia. And he has harbored the thought that he will be in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, and then be running the party as national chairman. So the Executive Committee said that it has been nearly 5 months or more than 5 months since the national chairman left this country. So we cannot allow the party to be held hostage. And since the 2020 election, nothing has been heard about Move. Move is not in the news. Move is not speaking on national issues with all of the things that are happening. So on that note, there is a need. There was a need. The Executive Committee saw its fit to remove Mr. Robert Sami as national chairman of the party, so as to give the party a new face.
Was that decision in line with the party's constitution, or the leader just saw it expedient that since the chairman is not around, they're pushing it aside?
So obviously, Maka is in the party is in line with the party's constitution. The party constitution provides that in the absence of the national chairman, the national vice chair of administration shall assume all of the responsibility, functions, and duties of the national chairman. So the national vice chair of administration is in country. So what we did in line with the constitution of the party was to remove Mr. Sami as national chairman and then allow the national vice chair of administration to act for 30 days. And that's in line with our constitution, because the constitution says the national vice chair of administration can act not more than 90 days, and then we'll call an emergency convention to elect a new national chairman. So that was the decision in line with the constitution.
Okay. So that means we are expecting an emergency convention, if I may say, in after 30 days?
Yeah, obviously, not emergency convention in 30 days. What we did was that the National Executive Committee endorsed Mr. Mark Chan, who is the vice chair of administration, to act in 30 days.
Okay.
In that 30 days, he will convene the National Executive Committee meeting, another National Executive Committee meeting.
Okay.
And in that National Executive Committee meeting, we will take a decision to endorse the holding of an emergency national convention, because it is a National Executive Committee that must endorse the holding of an emergency convention.
So the recent decision by the NEC, that's the National Executive Committee, was it only about the chairman of the party or other executives?
No, not only the chairman. There are some executives of the party, like the vice chair for finance and fiscal affairs, who's almost like the treasurer of the party. Is also on mission. He's all over the country. We're also removing.
But your party is a diplomatic party.
Yes, and many other people who left the country or who are now incapacitated or are on different missions. Some are into the security sector. Some are into institutions that cover non-political participation. So what we did was to remove all of them and bring and be able to allow us to bring individuals on board that will restructure the party and rebrand the party.
We understand that the chairman has been arguing the position of the executive committee by pushing him aside and replacing him with the last chair for administration.
No, but Maka, there is no argument here. There's no substantive argument that former Chairman Sami can bring here, because the Constitution of MOVE, which is the 2016 bylaws and Constitution of MOVE, that is before the National Elections Commission, it clearly states that the National Executive Committee is the higher decision-making body of the party.
Okay.
Which Article 6, Section 2A calls for. Now, when the National Executive Committee meet, they can take a decision. And also, Article 8, Section 2U of the party says that the National Executive Committee reserves the right to suspend, expel, dismiss, or replace any official of the party whenever the National Executive Committee deems it necessary. And the National Executive Committee doesn't need to make reference to the Grievance and Ethics Committee. It's clear. It's explicit in our Constitution. So Mr. Sami is aware of that. So I don't think he has any argument about his removal, because he has no legal backing as per what the party Constitution provides for. So apart from Mr. Sami removal, there are several other critical decisions that we have taken. And we don't want to dwell too much on Mr. Sami removal, because it's already history, because we're within the land of the party, and all what we are doing is legal and is within the confines of the law. So he doesn't have any argument to bring to bear about his removal.
Okay.
The National Executive Committee, majority members, currently there are 39 members of the National Executive Committee of the party.
Okay.
Out of the 39, 26
Took the
representing 2/10 majority of the National Executive Committee took the decision. And that surpasses the simple majority clause that the Constitution calls for. Because the Constitution says a simple majority of the NEC of the National Executive Committee can take decision to affect the parties.
Okay.
So we even surpassed the simple majority and 1 to 10.
Okay. So one of the key things we intend to talk about this morning is that in your last press conference, you try to comment on the president's 100-day deliverables. What is the party's position on the 100-day deliverables? We've seen criticism. Liberia is, a political state, if I may say, because there's a lot of politics in the country, and others are grading a different way. Let's hear from MOVE.
Yeah, so like I earlier intimated, Maka, the parties have been in a more or less political coma since the 2020 elections. MOVE have not been heard on issues. So based on the decision of the National
Yes, most likely because you were collaborating with the ruling party at the time, and then there was a defeat, so everybody go into hibernation.
Yeah, but we've been hearing other political parties speaking here. We heard the ANC spoke, or we heard the MPC political leader, Simon usually speak on national issues. We always hear the CDC also speaking. And we are part of it. We collaborated, we supported the CDC. But the elections has ended. So that collaboration it's not binding. Okay. The National Executive Committee has a right. And that collaboration spell up clearly that we remain independent as a party. We didn't do merger, we didn't do coalition, we did collaboration. Okay. So we are an independent party. So it's supposed to be speaking as the way we see issues on the national scene as a party, as an opposition political party.
Okay.
So because of the decision that the National Executive Committee took on Sunday to endorse me as National Secretary General of the party, we have decided to make the party active and to show that we will make the party active as National Secretary General in consultation with the new national chairman of the party. We issue the first position of the party since the 2020 elections.
Okay.
In that position, we thought to give the party's position
on the 100-day deliverables of the United Party government led by President Joseph Numa Boakai. The National Executive Committee, after lengthy conversation, considering the arrest agenda of the United Party and how the party has performed in the first 100 days, the National Executive Committee came to the realization that like any government, the success or failure of that government in its 100 days depends on the policies, the actions that that government will embark on, the path that the government will take as it relates to laying the foundation for its developmental agenda.
Okay.
So the performance of that government will be judged on those policies or actions that the government will initiate. So our rating the performance of the United Party government on President Boakai was on the basis of the policies, the actions that the government had taken in its 100 days. Because you don't expect a government in its infancy, in 100 days, to carry on massive developmental initiatives. So we catalog how the government has performed as it relates to bringing on board or laying the foundation for policies that will benefit the Liberian people. Okay. And we come to realize that yes, it is commendable, it is welcome. The performance of the United Party-led government in its 100 days is something that moves welcomes and commend. Because the United Party under President Boakai in the last 100 days, or in the last 100 days or more, has been able to initiate some actions, some policies that are hinged to the development growth of Liberia. Okay. For example, the biggest accomplishment or achievement of the United Party under President Boakai is the enforcement of the defunct truth and reconciliation recommendations, cardinal recommendations that calls for the establishment of an international court tribunal. And we saw what the government has done relative to the establishment of the War and Economic Crime.
And that recommendation was perfect since, I think, 2009. Yes, and no action has been taken in that line.
Government have passed. There have been successive governments. President Salih, under whose regime, that recommendation was made. He know it. He or two things. President, we are insisting in know that recommendation. So to see President Boakai in the first 100 days taking the issue of the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Court, that majority of Liberians have called for over the years, is something laudable, and it's something that moves away from the performance of the Boakai-led government in the first 100 days.
Okay.
I said no matter that justice is needed. Liberians have over the years cried that those who are perpetrators of the war, which led to the death of over 200,000 Liberians and loss of property, those individuals must be brought to justice. The families of the victims, those who died, they need to heal their wounds. And the only way the country can move forward is if justice is served. So we believe that the action initiated by the Boakai-led government that will ultimately lead to the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Code is something laudable. Also, the 2014 Code of Conduct, again, was passed under former President Salih regime. She know the implementation of the 2014 Code of Conduct that will guide public officials, which among many things talk about the appointment of the ombudsman, the office of the establishment of the office of the ombudsman that will regulate the behavior and conduct of public officials. Former President Salih, he know that. Again, President, we are king of power. Former President, we are king of power. He know the Code of Conduct. Again, today we see in the first 100 days, President Boakai has taken critical steps that will see the full implementation of the 2014 Code of Conduct by the establishment of the office of the ombudsman that will regulate the conduct and activities of public officials. We also took notice of the actions and policies that the government took regarding the restoration of Liberia's international diplomatic image. As we all are aware, the issue of Liberia's passport has become a negative image for the country. Our passport landed in the wrong hands. People who are non-Liberians, some individuals were accused to be criminals, people who are unscrupulous were seen with Liberian passport. From former regime, even from former President former President Bouaka, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime, the issue of passport has been a serious issue that has plagued Liberia's diplomatic image. But again, under this government, we see that a policy was put into place that will safeguard the Liberian passport. And that's the reason why even the U.S. Embassy, in the first 100 days of President Bouaka's regime, the U.S. Embassy has released at least 3 statements, 3 commendation statements for the government. One of them surrounded the issue of the policy the government adopted on the passport issue. We also commend the government for political reasons. The move supported the CDC in 2017 and in the last year. Today, as I speak to you, there are only barely 1 or 2 persons who benefited. But today, under President Bouaka, all of the parties that supported President Bouaka under what we call the Unity Party Alliance, they all were given the opportunity to serve in government. They were given the opportunity to come to government, to be represented, and then provide their own expertise and help the Unity Party government to succeed. Unlike in the last year, where MOVE collaborated with the CDC, and there was only one man, former Foreign Minister Ambassador Kimaya, who led the party, and then he began law and gospel. And then all the other members of the party were left in disappointment with no benefit. But we see a show of political commitment by President Bouaka in ensuring that all of the parties that supported his presidential bid are represented in government.
But yes, why are you saying that? Let me just cut you off a little bit. You just mentioned on the show that a couple of your party executives are opportune to have jobs. Some are on the party mission and all of that. For you to say the party leader did not give attention to the party, I'm taking it back.
So Mark, let me say this to you. In the last 6 years, prior to the 2023 elections, the political leader of our party, former Foreign Affairs Minister Ambassador Kimaya, abandoned the party in terms of creating opportunities for young people in the party. It's not necessarily about getting jobs, but he had the opportunity to have influence and help young people in our party to get in power, either by scholarship or by financial aid or other job opportunities. He didn't do that until the later day of the CDC, when CDC had lost election. That's how he started doing the selection. Not even the executive committee of the party have any say. He decided who he wanted to and started picking people, some from the party, some from other areas who connected to him, to send them on mission. You know why it's ongoing currently with the issue of a committee being set up by the Minister of Foreign Affairs to investigate from between July 2023 to February or January, I think February 2024. Are
you trying to accuse a political leader that some of these appointments were not done in line with the procedures?
For the government to determine, I'm not a member. I'm not with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. I'm not condescend. I'm not clogged with. I'm not knowledgeable of all of the guidelines that are set up for foreign affairs. Foreign officials. Also, who is qualified, who is not qualified. It is what the Minister of Foreign Affairs currently to take care of that, and that's why maybe they have some issues. That's why they set up a committee. If they don't have issues, they will not set up a committee. So
okay, let's continue with some of the good things in the 100 days that you are praising.
So also one of the things we also mentioned was the issue of budgetary increment for critical sectors of our country. For the first time, as we speak, the 2024 national budget that was passed by the national legislature and is now before President Bouaka for signature. In that budget, we see an increment in health budget. It has gone to over, the budget for health has expanded, has increased. That is only laudable. The budget for education has also increased. The budget for agriculture, it may not be much, but gradually I think we'll get there. At least step we're taking, there is some political will to ensure that the budget for agriculture, I think about 2-3 million were added by the legislature. For the area of health, they added additional 4 million. In education, they added additional 5 million. Even in the infrastructural sector, basic social services. If you look at the 2024 national budget that was passed by the legislature, over 55 million will be going for critical areas, sectors that centers around providing basic social services for the ordinary Liberian people. So it's something we also laud the government for in its 100 days of incumbency.
So if you had to grade from 1 to 10, what would be your grade?
Somebody told me in the last appearance I did that it's too early.
Okay.
But like I said on this show, it's too early. I agree. But
no, we just grading on the basis of the 100 days now.
When the start is correct,
you
can grade the start. So the foundation being laid by the government, sensing that the foundation has the propensity to bring transformation, to bring growth and development to Liberia, I can say to you that I grade the government 7.5
over 10.
Yeah, 7.5 over 10 at this station point. With all of what I need among the issues, among which include the issue of the establishment, critical step being taken
to establish the office for World Economic Crimes Court,
which will formally lead to the introduction of a bill that the legislature will act on to go to the president and sign the law to establish those two different courts, and the issue of the enforcement of the 2014 Code of Conduct. Over time, people say the Code of Conduct is ineffective
because
the office of the ombudsman was not in place, was not set up. Former President Sally didn't set it up. For whatever reason, President Wia King, he didn't set it up, he know it. And then President Bouaka King, in the first 100 days, he set the office of the ombudsman. It's laudable because the Code of Conduct says the office of the ombudsman is the one that will regulate
and enforce the law,
compliance of the 2014 Code of Conduct. So it are not been enforced over the year because you don't have the office of the ombudsman for somebody to carry cases there or issues there whenever there are violations. So that is also laudable. The issue of even the access, the access retrieval task force. Or the asset recovery task force.
But it became very controversial.
The way the team
proceeded,
the proceeding was wrong. But the political way to set up the task force is what we love. Though we can discuss the proceedings, and we disagree the way the proceedings started or it got initiated. But I think they have to come back to the drawing board and reposition themselves well, because all of the assets of the government should be in a registry at the GSA. So you don't have to go on the street to stop people's car and see people and be suspicious and say, oh, the car is in here for government. Please get now. And won't look at the car, they're going inside. No, you just go to the ministry, you just go to GSA and you will get a registry of all of the properties of government, car, vehicle, or whatever, and then in whose charge it is. The contact, everything is there. It should be there. I don't know whether it's there, but that's how we.
That's the right word. It should be there.
But whether it's there is another thing. But it should be there. So I think that would have been a better way for the asset recovery task force to have proceeded. But however, the fact that it was set up, which is intended to retrieve Liberia's stolen wealth and properties that people may go away with, pulling government, they won't carry government property, is what we love. So we did not just praise, we did not just comment, we also advance recommendation. MOVE is a responsible party. We are not in a business as an opposition party to just unduly criticize,
Okay.
to just make criticism all around the place.
So yeah, so like that was my next question I was about to ask, because move first presidential election it went into was 2017, and it became one of the force or the forces in the elections. And then coming up to now, move is still a highly respected political party in Liberia. So I mean, where do you stand? Other political parties, you go to Facebook, there are criticisms. You go, this back and forth. I mean, even though you said Move have been dormant since after the election, and you are trying to reform the party, what kind of activities do we intend to see Move in? Do we? I mean, we hope to see Move in. Do we want to see Move protesting in the streets and this? I mean, what conduct do we expect of Move?
So you just put a red marker in your statement that Mu is a respected political party. So we always want to remain within the confines of being a respected and responsible political party. We have always provided recommendation and suggestion to government that will move or enhance the government operations in responding to the needs of the Liberian people. And that's why in our statement, after we commended what are deemed commendable, we advance recommendations, suggestions to the government that ties around responding to the needs of the people. And there were 5 things we spoke about that we advanced to the Unity Party-led government.
Just mention them quickly.
We advanced that the president, in as much that we laud the government for the actions and policy it has laid that will lead to development and progress for Liberia, we advanced that the government should prioritize the issue of the bread and butter issues, which surrounds the economic issues of our country, job creation, and the rest. We also advanced that the legislature needs to strengthen its oversight responsibility as it relates to concession companies living out to the Mineral Development Agreement or the MDAs or whatever agreement Liberia has with those companies. Because we noticed over time that our natural resources have been depleted, they have been taking all of this country, and the needed benefit for Liberians is not being seen. Take for example, the Beer Mountain. There are information that every Sunday helicopter comes and take off tons of gold and diamond from Inkinjo and Krenkemo County. Today, millions of dollars have been taken away. Millions of dollars of worth of natural resources are regularly taken away by Beer Mountain in Kinjo, Krenkemo County. But go there and see the lives of the people from whom these natural resources are taken, and the company is making millions of dollars. We call on the legislature not to rise up and to increase the oversight responsibility. Meta Steel, just recently there yesterday, Meta Steel, people from within its operational side came to the Capitol building to call on the government not to ratify or to amend the Meta Steel agreement to increase its stay in Liberia. Because the way Meta Steel have proceeded, they're taking money and the poor lives are not being affected. So we call on the legislature to strengthen its oversight responsibility. Another thing, the 48 billion on a former president, we are government. From 2021, 2022, 2023, the legislature endorsed the printing. They did a resolution authorizing the Central Bank of Liberia to print 48 billion of Liberian bank notes. Today, Marker, you as a journalist don't even know the status of the 48 billion. Where is it? The government, we are calling on the United Party-led government to investigate the Central Bank of Liberia to give a clear-cut breakdown about how much have been printed, what is the status, who told what, how was it distributed, where is it? We are asking questions and we need answers surrounding the 48 billion. We also want the legislature to investigate and, if possible, lead impeachment proceeding against a judge that brought down an unfair verdict in the case of Lucas Regis and Mara Jessica Law.
Have you read the case file?
I read the case file. I was even part, Marco. I currently serve as COS in the office on Jerry K. Job, Representative District number 12. And I'm privileged to be in the hearing that the Judiciary Committee called and my boss man is a co-chair. In that hearing, all the stakeholders surrounding that case were at that hearing, including Councillor Tiawon Ganglo. And it was proving in that hearing that all of the evidence that was needed, circumstantial, documentary, or whatever material evidence that was needed that could have brought Lucas Rachel guilty was provided by the government and the Minister of Justice.
But the judge said they were insufficient.
It's clearly Maka. So that's why the legislature have that right. Like Honorable Muhammad
Mensah, yeah.
Brought to the legislature attention. We are saying, as a party, we support her call for impeachment proceeding against Georgina.
Oh, Jeremiah, these recommendations are great.
Finally, the government, this is very important. The government just initiated no-go zone. They are initiating a no-go zone for motorcyclists. And they are also removing market stores of our sisters, brothers, and mothers. We love the policy for sanity and security sake. There is a need, yes, the no-go zone and the removal of market stores along the street. These are good policy. But Marco, as a party, we are recommending to the government that it is untimely until the government can create alternative employment opportunity for the many young people who survive on motorcycle work. It's untimely and not feasible at this time for you to implement a no-go zone for motorcyclists and to even remove our mother and sister along the street. So government need to focus on providing alternative jobs.
Okay. Thank you. So let me just take at least 3 calls. Just please, at least 10 minutes. 30 seconds each, quickly, so that we can close. We're out of time now. Let's use just 5 minutes of the radio time to do that. Good morning.
Let me say good morning to the ever-potent SG. The national HR move. Let me explain the very well for elaboration. But the thing is that the party in essential. 1, 2, the party and the following years. So what we are saying we are begging. Thank you very much. In 1 week time, the party is proceeding or direction. We will release within the party. Whosoever who will be working under the party is under.
Okay, thank you. Let's do 30 seconds quickly. Good morning. Morning, people. I want to know if you are paying well, 100 day, from 1 to 10, the man said 7.5. So that is clear. Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Margaret David, and let me say good morning to my brother in studio.
You have 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Bonnie G. Daniel Jr., and I do join the conversation from Jason and Team Moshawara County. I'm listening to my brother in studio, and I think that it is important that we come to this school with honesty and sincerity. And I want to thank my brother for being honest to our Liberian people, because true evidence is why they follow through our Liberia. It's great of this government is sincere, and the issue of moves carrying out their recommendation in their press video, which I have read and will continue to read on many occasions, is worth reading. So let me say thank you to him. He spoke plentifully. The issue of move, they are working on both to work collaboratively with the United Party. Thank you so much.
Okay, now the independent political party, they can collaborate with the ruling party. But anyway, move collaborated with the ruling CDC. So the our history of collaborating with ruling party. Yes, Mustafa, I would really love to take your call if you can call back again. So let's take 2 more calls: 0770-202579, 0770-202579. Better still 0777. Okay, good. Let me take this one. Good morning.
Maka, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning to the studio guest. Maka, my name is Mustafa, and I'm calling you from Central Town. It's been a long time since I heard a young person being this objective, especially out of the circle of government and out of those who are benefiting directly, from government employment and the rest of it. Most times you hear those who are not benefiting come on the radio and they talk all the bad things they want to say. or just praising when they feel that they are in the government side will enjoy. But for someone to be outside and is very objective on the achievement of government, I think this is laudable. What he's doing there is supposed to actually be what the Ministry of Information is supposed to be doing right now.
Thank you.
Considering us being in a society where information sharing is a problem, I think having small town hall discussions and coming on radio to inform the Liberian people of what this government has been able to achieve, supposed to be their work, and so it's supposed to be doing it all the time instead of waiting for there to be a speculation before they come to make clarity and start to explain. So it's a very good thing. I really appreciate it. I mean, he had me go to the radio as always, but not today. This morning is actually a very good thing for me.
My young man, thank you for always following the TBS. My young man, thank you for always following the TBS. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maka. Thanks for all that you do for people.
Okay, let me take the final one. Good morning.
Good morning, Maka. Let me say good morning to your guest. President is for the T-Rise from Virginia, and I do call for Kent more about this one. You see, let me tell the young man is here. You see, it's very key and what you're in opposition is good to recognize the effort made by your opponent. You see, don't respect the move for the church to go to win in a 2023 election.
Yeah, that's that right. So it doesn't still make you to disrespect the party.
Yeah, no, but honestly, the fact that they come and or they are recognizing all of the achievements made by His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Imam Bouaga, President of Liberia, in the first 100 days, and all the good things that he has done, the establishment of the World Armed Force, and all the ombudsman. It's a message. He said, if you were to bring for what to sin, and it's the same for fight. So if you want to run, you think that it was sin. So this is not the this is true. We have on the other side, and we are pointing them to come out of this.
But they were there before. Thank you, my young man. They were there before he said this. Well, Jeremiah, please use just a minute to close, please.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. Yeah. So I want to say here clearly that the National Executive Committee of MOVE has taken a decision to remove Mr. Sami as chairman of the party, not just because he's in Ethiopia, but some violations of the party's constitution, including being senator to account who is supposed to not be, including the issue of holding the party hostage. As I speak to you, the only vehicle the party has is lack of Mr. Sami Kumpan on the highway, and he's in Ethiopia for the last 5 months. And yes, the party, I had to work here at National Secretary General to come to the show. If the party car were available, I should be on the party car, should be with me here. It should be for utility.
How
can you lack the party car all to your house and you live in Ethiopia 5 months, the party car to your house and 2 motorbikes? That is ridiculous. It's selfish and devilish. So therefore, the party has decided to redeem itself. And we are even getting information that he had told a web they're planning to sell the party car. And if it will happen, and that's surprising because Mr. Sami sold the party car just after the 2027 elections, and we're talking to call you expelled. We brought him back as on the basis of reconciliation. He came back to the party. He has not changed, and he continues to be running the party on a unilateral dictatorial.
Okay, we want to hear from Mr. Sami soon with all of these things that are coming.
And the executive committee is beyond us. And there are other things we are going to do. And in a few days from now, you will see the move that you knew, well branded, well re-imaged, and ready to take on issues on a regular basis.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, my brother. It was great having conversation with you this morning on the show. He is the National Secretary General of MOVE, Jeremiah Payne, has been our guest this morning on the last segment of the show. We hope to be here tomorrow morning with New Roberts. My name is Marcus Davis. Asu Saliu sat with me on the show this morning. Arthur Boller and Rachel Lucini have been behind the camera doing all of the technical work. Thank you also to those of you who follow us via Real TV Online and those following us across the 15 counties of Liberia by radio. My name is Marcus Davis. Do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful time. Bye-bye.